I can see you already know what I was coming to tell you. Things just aren't going to work out for you with this team. Don't get down on yourself. You gave it your best shot.
Man, but I had my future at stake and I blew it.
Son, it's not that black and white. There are plenty of other teams in this league. Keep working. You'll catch on somewhere else.
I hope so. It's the beginning.
A wiser man than me once said that excellence is a habit.
What's that supposed to mean?
Means that if that scrimmage was any guide, excellence is more like something of a hobby for you. Something you do every once in a while. We saw some glimpses of greatness, but...
What, not enough glimpses to sign me?
I'm not saying that. But you're gonna have to do better if you want to be a part of this team.
Glimpses? That's it? Glimpses? Move, man. What are you doing?
We got our foot in the door. The Pistons have offered you a 10-day deal.
Why not a year?
Because you're an undrafted, unproven commodity. But they saw enough to take a flyer on you. So you have exactly 10 days, 240 freaking hours to show that you belong. You perform, you got a shot at a guaranteed deal for the rest of the season. We both live to breathe another day. You don't, you got a shot at being last in a long line of might events, and I'm probably out on the street, too. Living in this rat hole.
Hold up. Rat hole? This is all I can afford because you didn't get me drafted.
Let's call it a charming fixer-upper. Now pack your bags. We're going to the show.
Yeah, boy. I'm going to the league. I got my foot in the door, and I'm going to kick this sucker down, man.
You better. I don't want to ruin any more suits sitting on these vermin-infested couches of yours.
Man, it's my house you talking about. Finally, I'm in the league.
You did well in the workout and in the scrimmage.
He's a baller. You give him a legit shot, and he's going to make the most of it. I mean, when it comes down to crunch time, there's no one...
10 days, my man. We'll see if he can swim with the big fish. If he does, he might have a shot to be signed for the rest of the year. He might even find himself a spot in the rotation. If not, son, he's back on the streets. You ready?
I'm ready, willing, and able, sir. You'll see.
Good. Get out of here. You too.
So you're the rookie that's gonna shock the world, huh?
Sure as heck gonna try.
Good, I'm glad you're here. Just remember, it's all out there for you. Work hard, listen, watch how we do, and you got a chance to be something special. Now let's see what you got.
Thanks. I'm happy to be here, man. I'm pumped. Let's do it.
at the smoke. Coming to you live on this Tuesday night, it's the NBA on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan, Clark Kellogg, and Steve Kerr here with you, alongside Doris Burke from the side.
Let's see what you got, son.
Oh, I got plenty.
Prince. First quarter of play and just over 3.5 minutes in. The Detroit Pistons, a proud franchise, of course, from 03 to 08, 6 consecutive trips to the Eastern Conference Finals. And Clark in 2004, the NBA title.
But the rebuild process has had its hiccups, Kevin.
Very first basket right there, folks, of what is hopefully a very long and a very prosperous career from McCoy.
That's a basket he'll never forget. Guys, the only question now is how many more of them does he have ahead?
I know the answer to that one, Steve. A bunch. And it's not going to take him long to get him either. This guy can score.
Then you look at the Pistons, some great size and athleticism on the inside. But they've lacked the high percentage outside shooting to space the floor offensively.
McCoy making a great first impression. And they double up James. And it's the Cavaliers with the ball. Jennings against Irving. Passes to McCoy. And it's off target. Not sure why he took that one.
And, you know, for the Pistons last season, you look at the size and shot blocking ability, and you thought that team would be tougher defensively. But that wasn't really the case. I think it has to be attributed to mindset. Those young, big, athletic guys have to become much tougher mentally at the defensive end to be really successful.
Sean Williams checks in for Andre Drummond. Ramon Shumpert is checked in for Cleveland. Cavaliers leading. The screen from Thompson. Irving drives in. James outside. He dishes it to Varejao. Outside Irving. 6 on the shot clock, and he gets the bucket. Irving's got his second bucket.
Defender a little hesitant to offer resistance as he bursts to the hoop.
The pass to McCoy. The three. No luck. Cavaliers go the other way with it. They want to keep rolling here following the win against the Thunder.
You know, so often in the NBA we talk about how you have to earn your points the hard way, but it didn't seem like that was the case. Everything came pretty easily.
Too many of their points came the easy way, Steve. You're right. On dunks and layups against a defense that didn't really put up much resistance.
Tolliver the pass to McCoy. Dishes it to Tolliver. Nice ball movement by Detroit. And good, the three-point shot, good from McCoy. He's got his third bucket of the night. 8 seconds left here in the opening quarter. LeBron drives in. Thompson powered down after the assist, let him into the lane. Well, now they're just going to town on him.
Yeah, you'd think these defenders would have done a little more to put a stop to that stuff, Kevin, but so far, no go.
Well, phenomenal.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. What stands out to you from the Cavaliers in this one?
So difficult to get a shot off against this defense. They are really playing hard.
Yeah, they're playing hard, and they pride themselves on making it tough for their opponents.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. So on the floor for Cleveland, Kevin Love out there with Mozgov. Then there's Iman Shumpert. Then it's Kyrie Irving, and it's Marion in at the 3 slot.
Timofey Mozgov, 7'1", a shot blocker and rebounder. Still pretty foul-prone defensively, but he has really become an interior presence.
Clock at 6. Now, here is Irving. Tight defense on him. The shot will not go. Good work defensively by Monroe. Pistons trailed by 5. Prince dishes to Meeks. Pistons keep it alive. Back to Prince. Feeds it to Monroe. The fadeaway, and he gets the bucket. Monroe's got the opening basket here in the second quarter for Detroit. Cleveland leading by 3. Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burdick. Doris, what do you have?
Well, Kevin, no doubting Andre Drummond, an emerging star at the center position. As new coach Stan Van Gundy put it, I think we have two responsibilities to Andre Drummond that will help our team. Number one, do everything we possibly can to develop him as a player. And secondly, to put a system and personnel around him that will allow him to thrive. Kevin?
Doris, it sounds like he'll play a pivotal role. Thank you.
Yeah, Van Gundy perhaps envisioning him as Dwight Howard 2.0 in the middle. We'll see if, in fact, Drummond can live up to that.
And the Pistons making a change here. Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Monroe. Butler comes in for Tayshaun Prince. He's checked in for Caldwell Pope. And it's Jennings in for Jody Meeks. Then for the Cavaliers, Perkins, he's checked in for Mozgov. Thompson comes in for Kevin Love. And it's LeBron in for Sean Marion. The drive by James. And he banks in the layup. James has got the lead up to 8 now for Cleveland.
They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautifully.
Yeah, the defense has been futile here. 5 of the last 6 field goals in the lane.
No good from McCoy. Cleveland's gone 1 of 2 on 3-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Smith, no luck. Detroit's gone 0 of 2 from deep here in the second. Irving with the steal. Oh, and here we go. Irving's got it. The fast break chance. Out to Thompson. Pass to LeBron. Smith outside. Back to LeBron. 5 on the clock. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. Pistons trail by 8. Butler kicks to Tolliver. Here's McCoy. Offline with his 3. Cleveland's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Perkins with the screen for Irving. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. Irving's got 5 points now this quarter.
These defenders look overmatched right now, especially inside.
Yeah, you look at the numbers. 10 of the last 12 points have come from close range, so I agree.
That is good. 6 points for Brandon Jennings.
Tell you what, despite that hot start from long range, they've really gotten away from the three-point shot now.
And I know that's sacrilegious to you, Steve. I mean, being a shooter and all in your past, you figure you should be firing away from out there at all times. But the mid-range game and in-between game served me quite well. But that hasn't been the best meal ticket for them here in the second half. You got to go with what you do best.
Now the feed to Tolliver. Pass to Buck. Soft touch off the glass. So we've reached the end of the first half of play. Cavaliers ahead, leading by 8. Time.
Hey, fellas, let's go over what happened in the first half. It wasn't what we had in mind, but...
Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment. Kevin Love really has his fingerprints all over this one.
I like that he didn't force anything in that first half. His decision...
The group start second half for Stan Van Gundy.
Kyrie Irving 3 seasons ago was the only rookie in NBA history to shoot as well as he did from the three-pointers, the field, and the free throw line. There's no question about it. He is an elite shooter.
Here's Monroe. And it's Kyrie Irving with the rebound. Irving's got his 4th rebound in this one. That's good. And now a 12-point Cavalier lead.
And Irving, super skilled, one of the league's best shooters, and you'd make a strong case for being the league's most elusive ball handler as well. Seems to get by his man pretty much at will.
Jennings against Irving. Meeks inside the 3-point line. Goes back up. And Irving pulls it down.
That's not how you want to kick off the second half with 3 straight misses.
James with it, and Jennings picks him up defensively. Prince against Smith. Here's Mozgov. Tayshaun Prince with the rebound. Prince has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And Irving super quick with the ball in his hands. And when he gets to the basket, a master using spin and English to convert.
And Kevin, you know, the story is that growing up, the hoop in his yard had a big part of the backboard broken off on the right side, so he had to learn that spin in English in order to bank it in.
I like that story.
Necessity is the mother of creation.
That's good for Meeks. And so Meeks nails both of them.
Boy, his free throw shooting, just another reason he's such a good all-around player.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Yes, Kevin, Cavaliers head coach David Blatt, unknown here in the United States, but he spent the last 2 decades establishing himself as the premier coach in Europe. Last season, he led Maccabi Tel Aviv to an upset EuroLeague title. One GM described the team as, quote, outgunned at every position except coach. Kevin, it's been his dream to coach in the NBA.
And he consider him a genius-level coach. Of course, thanks. We'll see how he does. Here's Drummond. And there's the bucket. Staying with it on the offensive glass, getting it done.
He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation.
We see the Cavaliers get the win here.
Hey, Rook, good job. For your first time out, you look right at home.
Thanks, man. I just try not to force anything, let the game come to me.
That's what we do. Too bad your effort was wasted.
Wasted?
Yeah, you got yours, but the team didn't. In this league, W's are all that matter. We got to hit it hard again tomorrow. See what we got to do to string some wins together.
Hey, man, I'm playing for my basketball life, all right? 10 days is all I got. So in 10 days, I got to make plays. I got to get mine, man. Shoot, if the team wins in the process, hey, that's great. If not, the sun will come out tomorrow.
What I hear is the guy that would rather get his, no matter how the team does. You might think that's going to help you stick, but it ain't. Coaches, GMs, and players don't dig selfish teammates. Soon you learn that lesson, the better off you're going to be. Hear what I'm saying?
Welcome to Philadelphia, everyone, as the 76ers get ready to defend home court in the Eastern Conference. We're happy to have you with us for 2K Sports midweek presentation of NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. Pistons coming to town, hoping to notch this one here in this one-game road trip. This is an important game for them because they've really been struggling. Just one win in their last 5 games.
And right now, they're in the middle of what could be the most demanding part of their schedule all season. I mean, this is the 3rd game they'll have played in 4 days. You've got to get some sore muscles and tired, weary legs when you're in a stretch like that. But not only the physical fatigue, there's the mental and emotional fatigue, too.
Yeah, we see teams lose their edge a little bit in these situations, and they have to be drained right now because of the schedule.
All right, let's set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. And Detroit, looking at who they've got. Monroe and Drummond, they're inside. Jennings and Meeks in the backcourt. And it's Prince in its small forward.
Brandon Jennings, you remember, decided to play a year in Italy right out of high school rather than to go to college. He was the first guy to do that once the NBA implemented that 1 year out of high school requirement for the draft.
First free throw is good. And for Brandon Jennings, he didn't play a whole lot while in Rome, but he stayed busy practicing and developing.
Yeah, and it didn't seem to diminish his stock that much, Kevin. You know, you go back to when he was drafted, he was the 10th pick by the Bucks back in 08.
Brandon Jennings hits them both.
Brandon Jennings so quick, a left-handed speed demon. You know, as quick as he is off the bounce, he's not as good of a finisher inside as you might expect. I think sometimes he makes those shots a little more difficult than they need to be.
Here's Kanan, averaging 10 points per contest. Richardson, no luck.
Well, that was not a smart play there. That's a wild shot. They can get something better.
No, that's not smart basketball. He should have passed that shot up.
Jennings kicks to Meeks. Pass to Monroe.
And for Jennings, it's not just finishing at the rim. His percentages from mid-range and in between have room for growth, too. He's tried to develop a floater, but working on those 1 or 2 dribble pull-ups should also be an area of focus for him.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
I caught up with head coach Brett Brown. We discussed their game plan defensively, and he mentioned that controlling Greg Monroe will be crucial. He said Monroe is a guy who can score inside, rebounds well, and his passing really sets him apart. Their offense runs best when it goes through his hands, so pressuring him and staying vigilant is essential for us. Guys, can they slow him down?
And thank you for that, Doris. As we're talking about Jennings finishing inside, so much of that is a mastery of angles. Steve, I know you're really mesmerized by the whole study of angles and the way players attack certain defenses, finding that space where the shot blocker can't get to.
Yeah, geometry, Kevin. It's fascinating. And, you know, he could benefit from watching a guy like Tony Parker. He's the master at beating the big man to the backboard by putting that shot up quickly to use the rim to protect his shot.
Here's Meeks. 11 points for him in that last game against Cleveland. 6 to shoot. Takes the 3. Kept alive. Another shot. Can't get the layup.
They've had a cold start so far. Just 1 of 5 from the floor here early.
Kanan, the pass to Robinson. He feeds it to Covington. Richardson kicks to Kanan. There's a screen by Robinson. Kanan dishes to Robinson. Puts one up from 19, and it doesn't even draw iron. For Detroit, they've gone just 1 for 5 from the field to start the quarter. Jennings passes to Prince. He dishes it to Meeks. Back to Prince. The 3. Jason Richardson pulls it in. The 76ers have gone 2 of 6 from the field. Here's Covington. The 9-footer's on the mark. Covington's got his 2nd bucket of the night.
Sixers head coach Brett Brown used to coach in the Australian League.
Here's Kanan. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. The feed now to Richardson. Pass to Kanan. Covington kicks to Kanan. Out left to the wing from outside the arc. Here's Embiid. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Well, you allow them to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
Yeah, I think you got to foul him, and free throws are better than a layup.
It's his first trip to the line. The first free throw is the Spurs for a year and a half working as a volunteer, and obviously learning and absorbing from the best.
Yeah, he was 4 years as their director of player development, then an assistant coach for 7 years, and alongside Mike Brown, Jacques Vaughn, and Mike Budenholzer, all guys who have been head coaches or are currently head coaches. One of the many Spurs assistant coaches to become a head coach in the league.
Feeds it to Thompson. Leaves it up and in off the pretty assist. Thompson's got his first points of the game.
That's really the area where they'd like all of their shots to come from.
For Detroit, they've gotten 3 of 8 shots to fall for them here in the first quarter.
They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively so far.
Yeah, I think that could really set things up well the rest of the game. Pound the ball inside and let your perimeter players play off your bigs.
So it's Detroit now. Philadelphia getting their last shot to go. And it's Butler missing. The 76ers have gotten 5 of 10 shots to drop in this game so far. Right at the 50% mark. Here's Kanan. Hits the three-point bomb.
Excellent ball movement there, guys.
Yeah, I think that's what's keyed this run, Clark, because they're keeping the ball moving. Defense hasn't been able to set up.
Now here's Jennings. 14 points from him the last game against Cleveland.
And what stood out to me in particular was his gorgeous playmaking out there. He was finding his teammates in great positions to score.
Here's Kanan after the made shot from McCoy. Kanan dishes to Thompson. He kicks it to Kanan. A shot by Thompson, and no one's around. Makes it off the glass. Noel's got his first 2 points of the night.
Boy, he crashed the boards with purpose right there. Well-deserved second chance points for him.
They're going to turn it over. They couldn't get it in bounds that time. And the 76ers making a change here. Sims is checked in. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, he's checked in for the Pistons. Back to Thompson. Cannon, the pass to Grant. The dish to Thompson. Launches it. No luck. Pass to Kanan. Shoots the 3. Can't get it to go. And then now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And looking at what we've seen from the 76ers, what do you guys think?
Now the key has been the rebounding department. This club dominating the paint area. And if this continues, they'll be in great shape.
Well, they've done 2 things. They've limited second chances, and they've been able to flex their muscle down low.
On the floor for Detroit, Monroe and Drummond there inside. Jody Meeks out there with Caldwell-Pope, and it's Butler in at the 3, the small forward.
Boy, that is just good stuff for him. Nice touch.
So the 76ers, their last game, a loss to New Orleans.
They had major problems at the charity stripe in that game. It was interesting. They just could not make free throws.
Yeah, and that's frustrating to watch, especially on the road where your opportunities at the line tend to be a little more sparse than when you're at home. Boy, you've got to cash in on them.
Now, here's Richardson. Dishes it to Covington. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark.
Well, you know, Greg Monroe is a bit of a tweener defensively, not as quick as some power forwards and not as big and strong as some centers, but I think he's made strides at the defensive end of the floor and has become pretty good at defending either one of those positions.
Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Well, this offseason, the Pistons bringing in Stan Van Gundy in a dual role as head coach and president of basketball.
Both teams making substitutions here. The 76ers leading. And Monroe, not an explosive leaper or big-time shot blocker, Steve, but He moves his feet pretty well defensively.
He does, and for his size, he does a solid job of covering up space and contesting shots. And given what he brings to the table offensively, he's more than solid at the defensive end.
And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for Philadelphia.
You know what, guys? It looks to me like they're really in sync here, all on the same page. They've already got a bunch of assists.
Yeah, and the fact that they're playing well, close to the hoop, finding points in the paint, I mean, they've got it all going tonight.
McCoy, and the three ball is good. B's got 8. And even though the team lost last time out, he managed to be a bright spot in the game, always a positive for a young player trying to make a name for himself.
Well, Kevin, it goes without question he would have liked to have been part of a win. But as far as impressing the coach, I think he did everything he could in his debut to do that.
There's the pass to Williams. Here's Prince. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Williams. 5 points in the game. Clark, a lot of give and take between these sides early.
Kevin, how about 6 lead changes in this half already?
Yeah, good one here. Guys, this is going to be fun to watch. 2 evenly matched teams, both teams playing hard.
Doubled by McCoy. Here's Covington, and he drops in the layup off the glass. And the 76ers lead by 1.
Another lead change. How many of these are we going to have?
I don't know, Steve, but the momentum of this game has certainly swung like a pendulum.
Here's McCoy. Off target with his 3. Philadelphia's gone 1 of 4 from three-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. Cannon kicks to Grant. Baseline try. Again, Philadelphia.
You know, one aspect of their play today that's really been tight and far superior is their passing.
Agreed. I mean, you look at the points. I mean, they're getting a lot of baskets off of assists. So the offense really clicking here.
And it's the 76ers with the ball. Their last meeting was in Detroit, where they were unable to fight off the Pistons.
Yeah, they really took it on the chin that last time out, and the difference was the turnover differential. When you look at the stat sheet, they were so careless with the ball, and those mistakes were just too much to overcome. Yeah, he got whacked. Shouldn't be much debate on that one.
Yeah, that was as straightforward as it gets, guys.
The 76ers have converted 4 of 7 free throws on the night.
Well, the season numbers for this club really low. I mean, this is something that the team has been focusing on. They've got to improve.
You know, the numbers from the line, guys, are close to where they were last year. But just a tad worse, so not too bad.
And the 76ers making a change here. Noel's check in. What about Clark, what Steve just talked about? How was it possible for them to turn the ball over so much in that game?
Well, I mean, the defense was outstanding now. You got to give some credit where credit is due. But they also were a little sloppy at times with the ball.
Here's McCoy. Connects from three-point range. And now it's a 3-point Piston lead.
There's 6 points on consecutive 3 balls. They're finding holes in this defense.
It should be easy to correct, though, if you start making the right rotations defensively.
Outside Jennings. No good on that last second attempt there. And a tight game here as we end the first half. Pistons ahead. They lead by 3. And a chance now to send you over to Doris Bergsten.
Well, Karan, tell us a little bit about...
Okay, good job battling them out there. Let's talk about some crucial areas from the...
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball.
And what a tremendous game for B. He's got 14 points, and he's hit 4 from beyond the arc. A weapon with those 3-point shots.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, he is using the long-range jumper to deadly effect, Clark.
Embiid is out there with Thomas Robinson. Then there's Isaiah Cannon. Then it's Richardson. And it's Covington in at the 3 spot. That's the group in the game for the 76ers. Shot clock at 2. Money from the wing. Covington's got the first points of the third quarter up on the board for the 76ers. Jennings dishes to Prince. Kicks it to Meeks. Outside Jennings. Brings it up. There's 45 seconds left in the game. On the floor for Detroit. McCoy in a 2-guard. Anthony Tolliver out there with Sean Williams. Then it's Contavious Caldwell-Pope, and it's Jennings in at the point guard. Fires the three. The rebound by Caldwell-Pope.
Well, most games he can knock it down from deep, but it just isn't there for him in this one.
Down low. Kicks it out to Jennings. Sinks the three-pointer. Jennings for three. 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, they can just sit on the ball here if they want to.
Sure can, because they've earned the win.
There's the feed to Richardson. Cannon, the pass to Covington. He dishes it to Noel. Fades away. Can't connect. So it's the 76ers winning this one easily. How much to be critical of with this win, Clark?
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play,